So GDP is the biggest piece of news today in the regular traditional finance. We do have an even bigger story for crypto news we'll tap into in just a moment, but GDP was revised higher on stronger CapEx numbers driven by President Trump's one big beautiful bill. The data shows that tariffs are not weighing on prices or consumer spending. And as we see here from Joseph Lavorgna, strong growth on no inflation. Q2 real GDP revised up to 3.3% on the back of stronger than previously reported business investments. The CapEx comeback, the direct result of POTUS's one big beautiful bill continues. It has soared over 15% annualized in the first half of 2025. The 2026 economic outlook continues to brighten. So strong numbers for the economy. Will we get a rate cut? And I love what Wolf of All Streets posted here. You sound smarter when you say 100 basis points instead of 1%. So if you've ever heard of the fact that the interest rates, you talk about it's at 4.5%, 4.5%. or 450 basis points. So everyone is talking about the potential of lowering the interest rate by 1 full percent rate cut coming up in September, or to sound smarter, you could always say 100 basis points. I always thought it was funny because a lot of the people on TV all use the 100 basis points, but when you talk to normal people, everyone uses 1%. And that goes along with the headline that we showed in the intro. Just in, US revises their GDP number up to 3.3. Also, some really positive crypto news coming out. $1 billion USDT has been minted on the Tether treasury. Let me know down in the comments, what happens to Bitcoin when $1 billion worth of USDT is minted? And we also have the U.S. Commerce Department coming out and saying the Department of Commerce posts their second quarter gross domestic products on the blockchain. So more important than just the number being so positive, they have now transitioned to actually being on the blockchain. So it's only fitting that the Commerce Department and President Donald Trump, the crypto president, publicly release economic statistical data on the blockchain. We are making America's economic truth immutable and globally accessible like never before, cementing our role as the blockchain capital of the world. And everybody has to admit that 3.3 GDP growth is impressive, from Howard Lutnick, the secretary. And that is correct. Chainlink partners with the United States Department of Commerce to bring official macroeconomic data on chain. Vitalik Buterin says that 20% chance computers break modern cryptography before the end of 2030. Now, this is an important deal because, as you know, he's a big baller in the creation of crypto. He's one of the founders of Ethereum, and crypto relies on cryptography to keep transactions secure. So if quantum computers advance faster than expected, they could expose private keys, making wallets vulnerable. Vitalik's warning isn't just hype. It's a wake-up call. The crypto industry is already working on quantum-resistant algorithms, but this timeline adds a lot of urgency. So if you're deep into crypto, this is a reminder that the tech isn't bulletproof just yet. One of the most controversial internet crypto interviews is going down, and it's been spreading like crazy all over the internet. Take a listen to this.
Need help. Okay. Investing. Don't know what to do, what it is, but I need help. I need help. Okay, so I would recommend, so me personally, I have 1.3 million in XRP. So right now it's about $2 and something cents, but the community knows that when I know it will bump up to $10, I'm going to be basically set for life. So I would highly recommend buying XRP. Why are you crying? What the heck did you just say? XRP. I couldn't even understand what X could even stand for. It doesn't stand for anything. It's just like, XRP doesn't stand for anything like explicitly. It's just like I'm screwed. Crypto men come this way. Help me. Just put money into XRP and then you're set for life. Put my money in it. Or just spend it all. Whatever you want to do. Well, will the IRS come after me if they won't come after me if I do that? You haven't paid taxes in 2 years, so they're going to come after you anyway. Not if I had my money in this XPR stuff.
This is who you're trading against, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, no financial advice on this channel. Do not buy or sell anything that we talk about on this channel. Do your own research, make your own decisions. But yes, that is right. She has 1.3 million in XRP, and she decided to tell her friend that she should also own it. And this is a massive influencer, so take heed of that. Also, keep an eye on this Friday. We're looking for prices to move to the upside. Well, there are $5 billion in Ethereum options expiring on Friday that could push Ethereum above the 5K as bullish strategies dominate the expiry. And as you know, all the crazy news swirling around the Federal Reserve, Well, there are now 11 strong Fed chair candidates.
There are 11 very strong candidates. President Trump knows some of them he doesn't. I'm going to begin talking to them after Labor Day. And there'll be some other folks around the White House who will also interview them. And we will present 3 or 4 candidates to the president. And like I said, he has a very open mind. He's very sophisticated on monetary policy, which I think drives some people at the Fed crazy, that they can't just dictate, okay, sir, here's the way it is. He has his own views. He's going to make those known. And I think that he has great reverence for the Fed as an institution, and I think he believes that it's lost its way, and the new chair will be someone who is expert on monetary policy, regulatory policy, and knows how to run a sprawling institution, which the Fed is.
So it's going to be interesting to see Trump hiring someone to run the Federal Reserve that actually knows how to deal with money, not just a figurehead or puppet like Jerome Powell has been for the last 8 years. U.S. regulator opens a pathway for Americans to trade on offshore crypto exchanges. So this is a really big deal because as of right now, if you want to do something trading wise with higher leverage and things of that nature, it's very risky because you have to deal with an offshore broker who can just take your money and run. I don't know if you guys have been following the white whale on X and his saga on what happened. So a couple of days ago, he came out and requested help on X. He said, I'm putting out a $2 million bounty up for grabs. Half can be claimed by you. And let's start by saying, I know I was dumb, more FAQs, et cetera, but MEXC official froze over $3 million of my funds. That's $3.158 million to be precise. No warning, no explanation, no terms of service violation because there was none. Again, MEXC is an overseas broker that you could do leverage trading with. Well, this gentleman was trading high volume amounts and winning, being very successful, and got $3 million worth of his money locked up in an account. He is offering a reward. So if you're one of those people that are bounty hunter, you can go check him out on the white whale. But this has been going on for days. In fact, he created an NFT that you could buy that would get you into the help. And if he ever returned that money of $3 million to him, he was going to distribute it out to the NFTs. He wasn't selling them. You would use gas fees, but he was giving them away for free. And it was a challenge for him to get people to help him get his money back from MEXC. Well, during this, he also found Pablo Ruiz, who also got his money frozen of $2 million, remained fully inaccessible on MEXC as well. So they do this frequently. And it is very, very dangerous. So the CFTC is trying to overhaul regulations in response to proposals from the Trump administration. The CFTC director, Caroline Pham, said starting now, the CFTC welcomes back Americans who want to trade efficiently and safely under CFTC regulations and opens up U.S. markets to the rest of the world. It's just another example of how the CFTC will continue to deliver wins for President Trump as part of our crypto sprint. So instead of having to trade on a brokerage like MEXC, because you have to go there to be able to do these types of scenarios, you can also we're going to see some of these open up in the United States. This is also going to allow offshore exchanges to serve U.S. residents and can potentially increase liquidity in crypto markets and remove silos that have kept crypto trapped within regions. Now, currently, in order to trade on brokers like MEXC, oftentimes you have to use a VPN. You also have to go through a very extensive KYC process to prove that you're not an American.